meeting of the Bedford Township. The order at 6:30. Stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, folks. I would like to take just this moment of reflection and with our hearts and prayers to go out to the family of Mackenzie Caraba and her friends in just a moment of silence. Amen. We see here, I put here a little note to you that Facebook, we got it back up and running again. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Roll call.
Supervisor Johnson.
Here.
Clerk Baraco here. Treasurer Davis. Here. Trustee McKay.
Here.
Trustee Menke.
Here.
Trustee Blanchard.
Here.
Trustee Hoskins. Here. We have a quorum.
Okay, I started talking about, I was reading that Facebook thing. We had such a melee and a problem with Facebook, and we finally got it back online. It's not the Charter Township of Bedford. If you look for it, it's the Bedford Township Facebook. It's a brand new page. I don't know what was offensive and what drove all the complaints to shut the other page down, but I tell you, to make a new page, it is a task. It's not an easy thing anymore to just go and make a new page. But we're up and running. Hope you folks take a look at it. And won't have to bring that up anymore. Approval of the agenda.
So moved. Support.
Call.
Are we doing number 6 right now?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a couple additions I'd like to put on there.
Okay.
401k retirement plan from last month. And then the compensation committee. Thank you.
Trustee Hoskins.
Yes.
Treasurer Davis. Yes. Clerk Baraco. Yes. Trustee Menke.
Yes.
Trustee Blanchard.
Yes.
Trustee McKay.
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
7 yes. Motion carries.
Approval of the consent agenda items. A, minutes of the December 9th and December 16th, 2025 board meetings. Payment of the bills of the amount of $135,716.53. The budget report for 2025. BCPD and Bedford Charter Township Fire Department reports. Building and zoning report, the assessor's report, and we didn't have a planning commission this time. Move.
I have a couple of questions on the check register. If I may, that Bucks Crane, the 3,600, Joyce, is that paid in full, the crane?
Yes.
Okay. Nelson Granite, is that payment number 2 and is that paid in full as well?
That is, yes.
Okay. Well, I think I have one more. Oh, the Summit Fire Protection Annual Inspections is $739.35. Is that yearly?
Yes.
And my other one on the next page, for John Hancock, employer contributions and employee contributions, those are the same amounts. Is this monthly? Is this quarterly that we're paying those large amounts?
The, which one are you at?
The second page, check number 27449.
Okay. That is, monthly, but it's 2 months.
That is 2 months worth.
Yeah.
Is that how we typically pay them, is 2 months, or are they monthly?
We do it monthly,
Okay.
but it was the end of the year.
That's it. Thank you.
So the employer and employees are putting in the same thing?
The, this was for the you know what, it should say employer contribution.
Okay,
both should say employer.
okay, thank you.
They both
Thank
should. Thank you.
So that's all employer and no zero employee, correct?
So their checks are submitted as checks because out of payroll, the checks are written to John Hancock
Okay,
from the payroll company.
okay,
So those are included with the payment.
okay. And do we have one person or everybody, just a number?
4.
4 people that are doing, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Voted.
The approval of the agenda.
For approval of the consent agenda.
You're supported.
Move it forward.
The questions were asked. Is there a move and a support?
I'll move.
You did this now.
Roll call.
Trustee Hoskins.
Yes.
Treasurer Davis. Clerk Rocco, yes. Trustee Menke.
Yes,
Trustee Blanchard.
Yes.
Trustee McKay.
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
7 yes, motion carried.
Are there any, public comments on agenda items only at this point?
So in regards to the resolutions on number 11, I asked for clarification when I was up there at the end of the last meeting. Voted on what appeared to be the budget that had the changes for the raises in there. And then we voted not to do the salary sheet. And then we voted to separate salary sheet. To me, it was made available to the public, the budget documents for review, the salaries on there. The budget was passed in a 5-2 vote. To me, this really feels like we're trying to circumvent the budget process and also a resolution that was voted on and passed. Now, maybe there's a legal description there that you know, I'm not savvy to. Maybe we should have done those other 2 things first and then voted on the budget. But I mean, we had 9 hours of budget meeting, I feel like, and we all left that night with the agreement that we were gonna do the COLA or the 3%. Your vote is your vote. We had 2 individuals vote not to. That should have been the end of the discussion as far as the raises go, in my opinion. I don't know, you know, that that's all about, you know, moving forward, having to now have a resolution to undo what was voted on. Is what that appears to be to me. Hopefully we'll have some discussion on that and that can be clarified. Because I did ask that question when we were at the last meeting, when you voted on the budget. Does that mean you were voting on the documents that were made available to the public for them to give comment on, with waivers in there? And then lastly, you know, the elected officials and the deputies, this is their full-time job. You know, so we're never going to give raises to our people. As a resident, that just doesn't sit well with me. You know, it doesn't matter what other townships are doing. If they pay less, maybe they're behind the time. Maybe we're up with the times. You know, if you're on Social Security or you're a government worker, you got what, 2.8% this year? I see no reason that we can't take care of our elected officials and their deputies in the same fashion. I think it sends a very disheartening message that we would treat our employees that way. And as a resident, you know, they are our employees. So, thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak on, public, comments for agenda item only? Seeing none, we'll move on to reports. Police, somebody here from the police tonight?
See a lot of people who aren't normally here. I'm Officer Post, Battle Creek Police Department. Officer Valley couldn't make it today. I did what I could to gather up her notes and a little bit of mine, so they're on my phone. I apologize for looking at my phone while I'm up here. There were 410 calls for service, which with an average priority 1 call time. Response for service being 5.6 minutes. There were no larcenies in the Township of Bedford over the last month, of any type, which is, or breaking and entering, it appears. We did make 12 arrests for domestic, disorderly conduct, intimidation, liquor violation, drugs. There was a pretty significant retail fraud, at the Dollar General. Apparently they went from Jackson County up through all the rural roads up to Grand Rapids, and they would just fill garbage bags and walk them out. With the help of Walker PD and some other jurisdictions, we were able to identify them. And, I'm not certain if they're in custody right now, but it sounds like they live in the Grand Rapids area, and they're being taken into custody. But that is over $700, and that's just what they could notice being taken from the Dollar General right over here. Not to include the one down the road, Ferndale's back. Officer Russell brought up the missing juvenile. We're still looking for, there isn't really any update, but he thought he could find one of them. And they're fine, pretty good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief,
Good evening, everyone. We ended up the year with 1,098 calls, total calls from service. But compared to 2024, we had 1,001. Basically across the board, the numbers didn't really change. 47 structure fires, 46 a year before. We're still at 65% medical calls, which we're proud to be able to provide that service for our community. So looking forward to this year, we're at 30 calls already, and we're not even through the month. Project that out, it's 1,100 calls for the year. So we're a busy little department. We've got our academy going on right now. We're about halfway through, Cody? About halfway through. That's going really well. We do have some grant opportunities coming up. We have the state grant that's going to be available in late spring. The FEMA grant, once we see what the priorities are for in any of these grants, we'll request appropriately what's in that. Let's see, what else do I have here? Our smoke detector program, really well received. So well received that we've run out of smoke detectors. The state has run out of smoke detectors. The vendor is trying really hard to catch back up. So we have a waiting list almost as long as what we've installed so far. The 26th, I believe, is when we're scheduled to get more smoke detectors. So if you don't have them, you know anybody that doesn't have them or doesn't have appropriate number, let us know. We'll get that scheduled off and we'll get them in. As far as the structure fires go, we're hoping with these smoke detectors that we can get better awareness and better early notification, so it doesn't become a structure fire. If somebody has something going on, the smoke detector goes off, they're able to handle it before we have to get involved. Well, that's the ideal. So, let's see, what else do I have on here? Oh, moving forward for the year, one of the bigger things we want to do as a community, hands-only CPR. we were working on some things at the end of last year. It's just not feasible for us to provide AEDs. We just can't do that. It's cost prohibitive. But we can provide the information to the churches and the service organizations where they can obtain them. Because they're about $4,000 a piece or more, depending upon the type that you want. So we are looking forward to getting out in the community, doing the hands-only CPR. The more community members that we have, knowledgeable in CPR, hands-only CPR, the better it is. Early access to that is the key. And I can tell you, standing here right now, the earlier you get it, the better it is. So, among other things, just going to go through and get our priorities, get our projects, get our goals. Hopefully we'll have that by next month. What our goals are for the year, what the different things that we're going to be able to do. So, we did do a joint training with Ross Township this last Sunday. That worked out really well. Did post a short video on the Facebook page, give you an idea of what it's like. It's very basic. It's not like that at all, but give you an idea of the vision, what it sounds like, what it feels like to do a fire attack inside of a house. That worked out really well. We are going to try and do some more joint training with our mutual aid departments. We're going to get together with Ross Township, Johnstown Township, Hickory Corners, and some other ones, and have some command staff meetings amongst all of the departments. We do have a regional grant that we're looking at for our turnout gear to update everybody's gear and get a second set of gear for everybody. That's going to become a requirement from the federal government that everyone have 2 sets of gear. This is with the safety, carbon monoxide, so all that stuff. So you have 2 sets of gear, dirty set and clean set. So we're looking at doing a joint regional with Penfield, Springfield, Newton, Leroy. We are getting together as a group, including the city of Battle Creek, so that we can address issues that we have that concern all the departments in the metro area. So for the first time ever, the city of Battle Creek and the adjoining 8 on-call departments are all working together. And that's an awesome feeling that we've been able to do that. I think maybe that's about all I have.
Thank you, Chief.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see Representative Frisbee here tonight, and I don't think Dan Strawbridge is here, but the illustrious Dave Gilbert is here.
Thank you, sir. I'm Dave Gilbert, your county prosecutor. I come here once a year to let you know what's going on in our office. If I told you everything that's going on in our office, we'd be here all night. I'll give you a quick one now. Good news, bad news. We're supposed to receive a grant 2 years ago, 2024, state of Michigan passed legislation granting $17 million to 15 prosecutors' offices that were the highest highest rate of violent crime. Calhoun County is ranked number 2 in the state, right behind Wayne County per capita. It's not the entire county. As you just heard from Bedford, crime is not that big in Bedford, but there are spots in Battle Creek and in Albion where violent crime is very high. Beginning in 2024, we had 30 pending homicide cases waiting for trial in our county. 2025, we had 16 pending. So homicides have gone down. Our police departments are very good at catching the killers. State average is maybe 55% are cleared. Calhoun County, particularly Battle Creek City, does over 90% clearance. So they're doing very, very well. We got very good police officers in our county. If you I'm here the rest of the night, you have questions for me, I'm here.
Thank you. Resolution 113-2601. Resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Charter Township of Bedford to approve a quote for propane heating unit for the cemetery pole barn.
Motion. Support.
Mhm.
Do we have natural gas out on that property at all?
We just had to get it turned off. So one of the requirements for the station one demolition of the grant is we had to cut all utilities. And this past Thursday, we just had the gas meter pulled, and this is for the cemetery pole,
Right.
so they're not fully without heat. You'll also notice one of them is significantly cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
That company was able to find conversion units that still exist for that old unit we have up there. It's, I think, 26 years old. They found a couple conversions that they can switch it over from natural gas to propane. So instead of replacing the whole unit, they can just switch out a couple things in it and continue using the other one. So,
You're talking about CTI?
no, it's from Stems.
Oh, yeah, I got two of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how many of those conversion units they are. They're probably pretty old. So it's something to consider. If it breaks, I don't know how likely it is we could then get it fixed with that same thing, or we then would have to go forward and replace the whole unit.
So getting it changed, is the propane tank is there now?
No,
Got
so
it.
the propane companies need an appliance to hook to before they come out and do anything.
Okay, is there a fee for that?
There will be, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
We don't know that amount yet.
No, I'm looking at a 330 gallon tank.
Okay,
500 is way too much.
Okay.
330 a year with this.
What is the long-term plan for that building?
For the cemetery office. So eventually, with the news station, we hope the actual office would be moved into there, and then that whole building, we could knock down that middle wall, and then they'd have either a whole building for their pole barn, or, I mean, this is something the board will have to discuss probably in the next month or two, us paying to knock both those barns down to just have a clean slate for them to rebuild. So more is coming with that, but Land Bank informed me last week that if they're not able to get in there by February 1st, they're pulling the grant. Whereas previously discussed, like 5 weeks ago, it was springtime to work on this, and then it was, oh, hey, we have to hurry up and do this. So cemetery guys are living without heat right now, other than a couple of electric space heaters. The electric was taken care of last year. We rerouted it around the building, so electric hasn't been an issue, but process time go for good on it. It's been 24 hours. We're really rough away. They're not usually the quickest.
so with Land changing that date, is it feasible for us to get that done by February 1st so we don't lose that grant?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everything, we're just waiting on the confirmation letters from both consumers and Sunco, but everything they needed to be is done.
Okay.
Yep.
Just my thought on these three, I don't think, CTI doesn't seem to be detailed that much.
I thought the same thing,
Yeah,
and because
yeah,
it didn't
way
say
open.
that they were hooking into
Mhm.
gas piping or anything, it
Yeah,
made me
there's-
think there'll be
There's not
Fine
much
with that.
there, yeah.
And then I looked at the two,
Mhm.
Tummins and Sims,
Mhm.
not the converter one. And they both have 10-year warranties on their product.
Yeah, I've seen that. And Tummins also, Sims has a permit included, which is gonna have to be done, correct? That's
Yeah,
mandatory.
yeah.
It's not listed for Tummins. I know we can say that they know, but it should be listed in here as well. So we have all that included, so. That's what are your thoughts, Randy, on this permit from Sims?
Then
Mhm.
Since the future of that building is kind of
Up in
up in
here.
air,
Mhm.
I just assumed make the attempt to use a lower cost quote and try the conversion.
That's where my brain was going.
Yeah.
If, you know, if we're looking at a 10-year warranty on a 1-year building, that, you know, the math doesn't math. It might be, for that short duration, it might be worth the savings to go with the conversion.
Right.
The 1288.
Yeah.
I'd make a motion to go with Sims Electric for that 1288 bid and see if that's gonna be feasible to work.
Second,
Well, wait a minute, we got a motion already on the floor to accept the bid. I mean, the resolved by the Board of Trustees of Charter Township vote to accept the quote. We have to vote on that.
Okay, so you just have to fill in the blank of what quote.
You just go with it.
Yeah.
So take the roll call to accept the quote.
From Sims.
Yeah.
The 1288 quote.
Okay.
Okay. Treasurer Davis. Trustee McKay.
Yes.
Trustee Menke.
Yes.
Trustee Blanchard.
Yes.
Trustee Hoskins.
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
Clerk Blanchard. Yes. 7 yes, motion carries.
That wouldn't have been a new motion. We already had it on the floor. Okay, resolution 113-2602. Resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Charter Township of Bedford to amend the salaries portion of approved 2026 general budget. Now, I got these individualized because they're all passed, and so we'd have to take them on an individual basis. A, deny the wage increase for deputy clerk and leave the same wage as 2025. Discussion, if we want to discuss it.
You have a motion?
Motion,
You motion?
a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay.
We got any discussion on that one?
We're gonna do these individually?
Individually.
Okay.
So we're doing a voice vote to deny the,
Exactly,
The wage.
each one down the line.
okay.
I have a problem with this.
Me too, as do I.
I think all of them, with the exception of the supervisor, who's already indicated that he does not want a wage increase.
Mhm.
I think we should reinstate the 3% for all of them.
Well, you can do that,
But I know you're doing it individually. I'm just giving you my thoughts.
okay,
The reason for me doing that is, yeah, we need to study this a little bit better down the road. But at this time, I think it's unfair to single out all these people.
that's who you excluded though. See, that's when.
I know.
Well, see,
It's called segregation. They segregated all of us
we
in
passed
a group.
right now in the 26 budget. Those wages are there and approved.
Right.
But you guys decided
Yep.
to exclude these.
Yep.
Individually, you did that.
Yep.
And made a motion for me to put this on the agenda to give raises to all the rest of the folks, but not these folks.
Yep.
So all you have to do, you vote these down if you want to. And then if you got a proposal to give that, people, you can make that after we do this.
Okay. Just wanted to know the protocol.
So what, and just to clarify, what we did was we listened to the voters at the meeting. You know, no decisions were made in the workshop, no vote was taken. We weren't coming in with a preconceived vote that's contrary to the OMA in the first place. So, you know, I kind of resent a little the implication that, you know, that we waffled and we threw everybody under the bus. You know, we're obliged to these folks here. And to not listen to them is contrary to what we're here to do.
We have to be careful about that though, because yes, these are our residents, but they do not necessarily represent the entire township.
That you're absolutely correct, but I saw people who couldn't sit together and have a beer together were all in agreement with the same thing. So people from the wide spectrum of the political landscape we have here in Bedford were united in this one thing.
Wasn't there
And-
only two?
And for
There was two
us,
people united?
and there was a lot of acquiescence through the group as they spoke. So, you know, if you were paying attention, as was I think it would have been wrong to have not listened to their voice. You know, this isn't my money. This isn't my company. This is public. And that's all I'm gonna say on that.
Okay, but I'm gonna ask you this. I put this on here.
I don't object to this.
Well, I don't understand. You say okay, all I want you guys to do is, this is the ones that you wanted to exclude after you gave the other raises. So I brought it back up and I headed it to amend the budget. You can amend it or you can't. I mean, I don't know what this is. This is what you wanted to do. This is what we're gonna do.
And if I can with my thoughts, if you don't mind, we're not saying the raises aren't coming or deserved. We're not saying that whatsoever. But a lot of them have that compensation committee. We approved it in April and it's my mistake too. We were so busy, I didn't realize, I totally forgot we had that compensation committee. We need to start moving forward with those things and follow through on our committees and think that we make decisions on. Truly, we should have already done that.
The compensation committee was for the road. That's what was voted on, was compensation committee for the roads.
The compensation committee for the roads?
Yes, that's what it was voted on. There was nothing else.
Well, I'd have to go back and look at that.
I'll look at the minutes.
Okay, listen.
Back in, April of this year, it was moved by trustee Hoskins, supported by trustee Davis, to form a labor compensation committee. I've got it right here. So it was not the road.
It was, but the discussion was about hiring a road coordinator and we went back and forth. What do we pay? What are the hours? What does that look like? And then decided to create that
For the roads.
for the roads. It was, if you watch the video, it was a discussion about the roads and how to hire a road committee coordinator.
Well, then I guess we need to revisit that.
I
Look at that.
don't know that was, I
If you watch-
listened to the video and I'm pretty sure it was about compensation.
It was following the discussion about the road committee, but I mean, it's the video, you can watch it.
We
Right.
can already watch it.
Who's that?
We would all-
Okay, it's been motioned and seconded. Now, we're gonna vote on these, A, B, C, D, E.
Okay.
A, deny wage increase for deputy clerk and leave the same wage as 2025. That's the first one. Roll call. The first vote,
You're doing roll call or voice vote? You have
voice vote. Voice vote.
It's two different things. Voice vote is,
I
you
know.
want a roll
I
call.
want, a voice vote. I want a voice vote. I got it right here. On A, we're gonna get a voice vote.
Which is usually all in favor. Okay, so you want a roll call. Okay, trustee Blanchard,
Yes.
clerk Farako, no. Supervisor Johnson,
No,
treasurer Davis,
No,
trustee McKay,
No,
trustee Menke,
Yes,
trustee Hoskins.
Yeah.
So 4 no, 3 yes. Motion carries.
motion failed. B, deny wage increase for deputy treasurer and leave the same as 2025.
So moved.
support.
Do a roll call.
Trustee Menke,
yes,
supervisor Johnson,
No,
clerk Farako, no. Treasurer Davis,
no,
trustee Hoskins,
Yes.
trustee McKay,
No,
trustee Blanchard,
Yes.
4 no, 3 yes. Motion failed.
item C, deny wage increase for township clerk and leave the same as 2025.
So move.
Support.
Trustee Blanchard,
Yes.
Clerk Baraco, no. Supervisor Johnson,
No,
Treasurer Davis, no. Trustee McKay,
No.
Trustee Menke,
Yes.
Trustee Hoskins,
Yes.
4 no, 3 yes, motion fails.
item D. Deny the wage increase for township treasurer. Leave the same as 2025.
So move.
Support.
Trustee Menke,
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson,
No,
Clerk Baraco, no. Treasurer Davis, no. Trustee Hoskins,
Yes.
Trustee McKay,
No.
Trustee Blanchard,
Yes.
4 no, 3 yes, motion fails.
item E, which is, deny the wage for the township supervisor, but the township supervisor has already notified the board previous to this and also in writing. And once again, now from the public, the supervisor is not gonna take any kind of raise, declines. The supervisor is not gonna take any gas stipend or food and lodging. His wage is gonna stay the same as it was in 2025.
We should probably still vote.
So I move.
Mhm.
Support again.
Supervisor Johnson,
Yes,
Trustee Menke,
Yes.
Treasurer Davis, yeah. Trustee McKay,
Yes.
Clerk Baraco, yes. Trustee Blanchard,
Yes.
Trustee Hoskins,
Yes.
motion carried. 7-0.
so now you said you wanted to make a motion.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion for the deputy clerk, deputy treasurer, township clerk, and township treasurer to receive a 3% pay increase for 2026. For all four.
Second.
The motion has been made and the motion has seconded for 3% increase for all four of those positions.
That's correct.
Discussions.
I feel that that's above the 2.8% COLA. So if we're gonna override the initial, I would at least back it down to the COLA.
I argue to be consistent and just flat 3%. I realize the COLA was 2.8, some people got 2.8, some people got 3, some people got more in other townships. I'm just trying to make it as simple as possible.
I'll support the 2.8.
I'll support 2.8 because I believe that's what we were talking about that night. Anyway.
No, it was 3%. It was
Well,
3%.
For some people it was, some people started at 6. You know, but I think 2.8 was fair.
The motion is on the table as 3.
Shall we vote on the motion?
We can adjust it, but this is the one that's on.
You would support it?
Moved by McKay, supported by Davis.
Okay, well then, we can vote on that, on the 3%.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Okay. Trustee Hoskins,
No.
Trustee Menke,
No.
Clerk Baraco, yes. Treasurer Davis,
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson,
Yes,
Trustee McKay,
Yes.
Trustee Blanchard,
No.
4 yes, 3 no, motion carried.
resolution 1/13/26/3. Resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Charter Township of Bedford to promote Captain Matt Goldie to the rank of Assistant Chief on Chief Woodard's recommendation.
I'll move.
I'll support.
Roll call.
Trustee Menke,
Yes.
Clerk Bronco, yes. Treasurer Davis.
Yeah.
Trustee McKay,
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson,
Yes.
Trustee Blanchard,
Absolutely, yes.
Trustee Hoskins.
Yes.
7 yes. Motion carried.
Gentlemen, congratulations.
Fortunately, I couldn't be here tonight.
I wish you could.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on to petitions and new business, we don't have any.
We do.
We got one in this.
So, Trustee Menke brought up 401k and the compensation.
Oh, yeah.
It added.
We gotta do a motion or I just start talking about it?
Go ahead, start off.
Yeah. On the 401k, I think we're way too high on 11%. It's been 11% for 10 years now. I've talked to 2 other townships today. One does 3% and they're local, Penfield and Emmett. The other one does 4%, and that's only if you match. If you don't match, you don't get nothing. Kathy from Penfield says, we stay at 3% because we don't want to go broke. And we've heard citizens last meeting complaining about it, and I know a couple people up here have said that they believe there should be a match. A couple of the people that are getting it. So I think we need to really just get this hammered and get it done, and we don't have to discuss it no more. That's what I had to say.
And again, it was the same 2 people that have received it also. So I would like to put out there to, just make it so where they do have to match. Employees should be required to contribute at least 5% of the option to increase contributions up to 10%, and the township should continue to pay the 6%, and if they match, then they'll match another 5%.
Can you say that again, please?
The township shall contribute 6% towards the plan. Employees are required to contribute 5% with the option to increase contributions up to 10%. And then if they match that, the township will provide a matching contribution of up to 5%. Because again, this is a perk of being an elected official. And when you strip these perks away from everybody, what is left? Who are you gonna have come in? It's gonna be, it's not a good look. You're gonna get what you pay for.
Well, you still have statutory duties to say that. That's not really fair either. I mean, 11% is super high to other townships.
And I have a pack right here that I have given to everybody
Right.
with people around us that also get 10%. This is not a surprise to anybody. I've given the pack to you. I believe it's in there. Everybody has it and they could look through it if they wanted to. It should stay 10%. I mean, back it up a little bit, make everybody contribute to it. But you want to take away something that's been in the township for over 15 years, a perk.
And I believe it was raised that high, Joyce, because the township was kind of lacking on funds. Is that correct?
Correct.
And that's why it was raised high 10 years ago,
Instead of
2015.
Yes.
So in all actuality, it should have been probably revisited. 10 years, the township.
I don't
is better.
disagree.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
should have been
disagree.
revisited and nobody's done
I think that everyone
No
should
follow-up.
contribute in order to get it.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
unheard of, actually.
I agree with that.
I mean, our attorneys even on the record stated that 3 to 5 is the average.
I'm opposed to anything over a 5% township contribution.
Well, can we, since we've opened this up, can we put our heads together, put your proposal for the amount, and then I put that on the agenda to vote on in February?
For the next meeting? This meeting.
Well,
I don't think we're ready to vote on this.
no, that's what I said, in
Yeah.
February.
February, okay.
Find your numbers now, and then I'll put it on the agenda in February.
Christie, can you say your proposal again one more time? Make sure I understand what you're saying.
Joyce, can you help me explain that a little better?
So 6% from the township.
Okay.
And then employees can, they have to put in 5%, can go up to 10%.
Who
The
goes up to 10?
The employees can,
Employee goes up to 10.
employee
Okay.
can
If they
contribute
want.
up to 10.
And if they
and-
do,
They're still only matched 5%
okay.
by the township.
Okay, I think you're contradicting yourself because you're saying
Mhm.
6% is what we
6%
give
is
you,
what-
but
What
the
everyone would get.
township's only gonna do 5%, match 5%.
So 6% is what everyone would get,
Automatically.
and then 5% match if you contribute 5%.
So you're saying another 5% on top of the
So it's-
6%?
Yes.
No,
It
no.
puts them back to the 11% if they
Okay, I thought
contribute
you were
10%.
Okay,
That's what I wanted to get clarified. Okay.
well, we don't necessarily.
No, we don't have to make that decision, but I'm kind of hard on that 5% too. I think Seth told us that the normal for townships is 3 to 5, so we're still on the high end of 5%. And then you guys match as you choose. We do the 5%,
Well, they gotta match 5. They
correct?
gotta put in 5.
Yeah, and you guys
If they
can go.
put in 3, then we're all gonna do.
And if we go above the 5, if you guys want to go above 5, you can, but you
Yes.
would have to match at 5. If you do 4, we match 4.
Correct.
It's kind of apples to apples. I think that's fair.
Yep.
Mhm.
It needs to be
Number-wise.
revisited for sure.
It does. So we'll put that down next month and make a vote and
Yeah.
decide on it. Okay.
Okay, we'll do that. Let's do that.
Mhm.
And what else do you have?
The compensation committee, but I think I'm talking about that already.
You wanna talk about that?
Well, I think we do need to, both with a compensation committee. Obviously, we've already taken care of this year, but going forward, I believe this is what we really need to do.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, we can revisit that April, but if it's
That's the
labor
correct word,
compensation
yeah.
though, it's labor. Labor can be,
Well, it may have been directed just at the roads.
right, and we'll watch that,
Vaguely remember
revisit
that
it.
meeting.
But I do think that, that committee, a lot of people use that committee with citizens that, meet once or twice a year, kind of give them everything that goes on in the office, everything money wise, things like that. And then logistically, they look at what everybody's doing and, you know, what those fair numbers are. And then present it to the board. The committee doesn't make any decisions. They just present it to the board.
right.
So, and then if we do that, I think we need to decide how many meetings a year they're gonna do. And then I think we need to put this, if we vote tonight to do that committee, which we can do that tonight if we choose, then we get it on Facebook and the website as well, that we're looking for people to interview people who might be interested in this committee. Because I think we'll have a lot of the community that would be interested to be more
Volunteer.
involved.
To
That's
volunteer
correct. Mhm.
for a committee. So you want to have a committee come in to make sure that we're doing our job and to tell us how we should be paid through this committee.
Yeah.
I
Well, the
mean, we're
committee is
elected, we were
tax-based.
elected to do this
Right.
position.
Right, we're taxpayer funded though. I mean, I think they do have some right to do that. So,
Can't really vote on it tonight till we confirm whether or not.
maybe next month, I'm fine with that.
Let's do that next
Put it on the
month.
agenda next month
Yep.
then.
Yeah.
I'm
Just
good with
make
that.
decisions on both.
Thank you.
We'll open up for public comment.
So, my name's Amy Troff, I'm the deputy treasurer. Regarding the, there's a couple of them. First, April 8th, the meeting that was held, it was for labor / compensation advisory committee. Trustee Haskins, you made the motion. Treasurer Davis, you supported it. So what your plan was for it to be brought to the committee, then to the board. Trustees only, no treasurer or supervisor in that. Trustee Haskins you mentioned you were willing to take this on.
Mhm.
Okay. Trustee Godey, or I'm sorry, Supervisor Godey said she would recommend utilizing the lawyer. Clerk Farraco mentioned she would like to see it on paper. Well, what happened there was it was tabled until a layout was created.
Mhm.
So you had made, Trustee Hopkins, you had made the comment about needing to have a committee. Okay, on the 8th, that was something that was brought up. Nothing has been brought further on it. So that's something. The 401k, there are different research that we've done in those packets. There are a few townships, several of them is 10%. Some have a match, some do not. Some townships have 14% that the township does, with or without a match. I don't remember what it was. There is one that has a 12%. The 11% is not anything crazy if you look at the research that's been done. You have the packet, you have the information in there to look at it. This has been in the township for 10 years. I get that. Put yourself in those of us that have, and I'm new. I mean, I'm not quite a year. That is a perk. I match. I mean, I do as much as I can, which is the 10. You can't do the 11. Put yourself in our shoes for those of us that have agreed to, we said yes, and we're putting in on that. And it to be brought up, hey, let's take it away. Because this started back, this 401k stuff started back, I think, in August. It's kind of been harped on, which I understand. But do look through those townships that you've been given paperwork for. Because 11% isn't crazy.
Anyone else wishing to speak?
My name is Brian Molman, and I just wanted to start out by thanking, number one, starting with the Battle Creek Police Department, the township, especially Jim, and the countless volunteers that showed up last Wednesday on Woodside Drive to take care of that situation. It's been ongoing for years, and this is just the beginning of the end, finally. Okay. We literally had a front row seat to loading the horses into the trailer. It wasn't until Jim came up with a brilliant idea of wrapping a rope around his rear end and finally getting them in there. But it took an hour and a half to get 2 horses in a trailer. First time in, I thought they're going to knock the thing over. But we had a constant flow of cat carriers walking right through our front yard the whole morning, and just the professionalism that everyone displayed. I mean, there are cop cars all the way down the road as far as you can see. And, to have that problem, I mean, started up good intentions, and obviously, but like Officer Dellinger said, it just got overwhelming to her. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate she ended up in the hospital. She's recovering, I guess, but hopefully now we can move to the next phase and try to clean some things up around here. But it's nice not being woke up in the middle of the night with dogs barking. I can tell you that. So thanks.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak in public comment?
Hello. Interesting discussion between y'all. I think what we see, part of that argument that's going on there, and the showing the public of kind of the mindset of some of the members here in the board. You know, you guys are elected representatives, you're supposed to be. But we've got a problem on this board and just on the boards in general in this township. Of having participation for the public, of wanting participation for the public. And being actual representatives. We've had some things changing now. Some people are working harder to do things. You guys are asking more questions. You guys are digging a little deeper. You know, because many boards are just rubber stampers. They are not actually making individual decisions on your own. There's outside people that come in and tell you. Typically, it's the attorney. If you look across the board, in most communities, everyone says, you ask them a tough question, oh, we'll check with our attorney. Oh, that's great, but then what? Do you ever question the attorney? Most of you, I guarantee, don't. You think, oh, he's the end all be all. But that's not the case. You all are supposed to be in your position, reading the laws and making decisions. You're supposed to be representatives. Calhoun County has a problem of crony politics. It's been allowed to happen for a very long time. And when you talk about perks, well, we need perks. We need perks to be in a position. You don't need a perk to be in a position of representation of the people. Holy smokes. To talk about you need to be, oh, no one's going to be in this position unless we get these perks. That is disgusting talk from any representative in any community on any board. Members should be disavowing that type of language immediately. If not, you are standing in solidarity with it. But we have a pattern in history of that on this board and in this community, protected by people that allow criminals to continue their action. Justice.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak in public comment?
I'll start with the good. That's really all I had to say until this meeting tonight was good stuff. First of all, I want to thank the Battle Creek Police Department for their effort in the stolen puppy case that Officer LaValle talked about last time. That followed the death of a longtime Bedford Township resident, and his daughter had come to stay at his house, and relatives showed up to offer condolences, and in the process stole some of the puppies that she breeds and raises. And so I appreciate the effort done on that. That same family then still dealing with this unexpected death. The young grandson now is in charge of handling that estate, and he had some issues on the property taxes. And so I called Treasurer Davis, and I want to thank her for the advice she gave and the information she took. And then when he came in to pay, because the young kid has never had to deal with the township government before. And he said he came in, he paid it, everything was fine, and he left. So thank you for treating him and helping him out like that. To Trustee Hopkins, thank you for keeping your constituents up to date on the Facebook page and then notifying us that it was up and running and the link, because you couldn't find it when you first started just searching for it. So I appreciate everything you did on that. Now this whole meeting tonight has my head spinning. And some things I don't understand. So I'm gonna have to go back and do some further research on that. But I really think the board needs to sit down and look at the tape tonight and see how some of your actions, some of your facial expressions and your attitude, and it just is so unprofessional at times. And tonight, it was just a confusing mess. And I can tell you as a retired federal employee, I work for the federal government in the budget office. That whole process this time around was a mess. So I think you need to take a look at the rules on who can vote on what can be voted on. And then proper meeting etiquette, because tonight was not it. Thank you.
Anybody else wishing to speak in public comment? Seeing none, we'll move on to elected officials. Start down there with trustee Booth.
Well, thanks everyone for coming. We appreciate it. We got a few things we need to work on. but Thanks for coming. That's all I got to say.
Trustee Blanchard.
Again, thank you everybody for coming tonight. You know, I don't know about the etiquette that was referred to. You know, we don't always agree on everything, and that's why there's 7 of us up here. You know, we don't have to agree on everything. I would expect us all to be civil and not throw around very derisive terminology. With that being said, I'm all for community input, and I hope that this process for setting compensation moves forward.
Clerk Farrakhan.
Congratulations, Chief, on the new Assistant Chief. So, and I did like the models that you're using, the priorities and the projects and the goals. I think our board should look into that kind of format as well. So thanks for coming, everyone.
Trustee Davis. Treasurer Davis.
There's a lot of stuff. First, let me say thank you for everyone that has come here tonight. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that I feel a lot of people aren't seeing or understanding. The condescending emails that we get quite often. There is no talk on stuff that really needs to be addressed. Like, we are being picked apart, Joyce and I. We had reached out about the budget when Joyce and I was doing the budget because that was put in our laps because there was nobody else here to do it. Nobody had came in to ask, is there anything that we can do? Is there anything that we can help with? Can we educate ourselves in this? It was put on Joyce and I. There's other things. I have a list of stuff, and we cannot build sustainability or stability for our tomorrow because we are being picked apart on everything today. And that has to stop. We need to come together and work together for the greater community. And it has to stop there. If you guys want to reach out, then reach out to us. We hear all the time, well, we have a complaint from this person or we have a complaint from that person. Nobody gives us any information. We have a supervisor. If there's a complaint, take it to the supervisor. Training has been offered for individuals that are not wanting to take the training that probably everyone should be going to. We have been segregated on our pay to going forward. We get harassed. It's very overwhelming to Joyce and I in this office because we're the ones that are taking everything. So I just want you guys to know from our point, we are trying here. We're trying to do the best that we can. And going forward, I would like us all to work better together.
Trustee Hostin.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming. Just to say, it's great that we have the Facebook page back up. Thank you, Supervisor Johnson, and Lisa, I know you worked on that as well. So thank you guys for getting that together. Any updates, events, please send that to us and then we can get that on there as well. We do have coming up, we have the supervisor position for April coming up. So that has to be on the ballot. Whoever wants to choose can get on there. Joyce, what is that date? Do you know?
I don't have the exact date, but
Is it the 21st? I think
April.
April 21st. I believe it's the 21st. Is it usually end of the day?
Yeah, it's
Like
usually
that,
4 o'clock.
okay.
There's usually
So-
a 4 o'clock cutoff.
Maybe we could put that on Facebook and the website as well. And get that updated so everybody knows those dates. And then, that's it. Thank you all for coming.
Trustee McKay.
Dan, right? Thank you all for coming. Appreciate you being here. I realize not everybody in the township can come to a township meeting, but when we see new faces and new people, that is wonderful. That's great. And again, we'd like to hear a lot of input from as many people in the township as possible, because that's very critical to us understanding what's going on. I also like to say, I thought we had a good meeting tonight. We cleaned up a lot of things from previous meetings that needed to be cleaned up one way or another. This board will never totally always agree. We don't have the same backgrounds. We don't have the same experiences. We don't have the same level of knowledge. So together we come up with solutions. And whether we totally agree, partially agree, or disagree, I think we do it in an orderly manner. And I really appreciate the team I'm on, as well as my fellow neighbors. So thank you again for coming.
Okay. My little comments, I want to make one correction that you said about you and Joyce doing the budget until I got here. Because I did the budget this year. I worked hard.
Well,
So,
yeah, to the point, but it was Joyce and I until that point, so I'm
that's all-
sorry,
that's all I
but it was your
That's
correct.
all, that's all I needed to throw out there on that. We definitely need some volunteers, 3, for, our recreation committee. We don't have it committee now, right? We don't have anybody on it
Not
now.
really, I do have, Tony is interested, so I was gonna give her after this meeting, give her the.
Well, I hope we can get 2 more folk for our, recreation committee. And there's a grant involved with that, isn't it? Huh?
I mean, there's
Millage, on the
millage, yeah,
the
I mean,
millage,
I was gonna say, there's always
yeah.
grants offered in different places, but yeah, the millage is involved.
Well, we need somebody, if they would step up and get on that committee. My last comments though, and it's my feeling about it, the review committee, it sounds like what you're saying is the same responsibilities that MTA has set forth for our board. Our board should be doing that. I'm not in, if you voted in, you voted in, but I'm not a big supporter of a review committee I don't know what exactly they would do that we shouldn't be doing as a board. And to me, it's just transferring some responsibility over to a committee. If it's something ugly, then, well, the committee told us to do it. But if that's the only reason I can see passing it off to somebody else. We're elected here to sit here and make them same decisions that we're going to pass off to somebody else. We just have to, sometimes they're going to be unpopular and sometimes they're going to be popular, but that's part of sitting here. But I'm surely not in favor of passing it off to somebody else. So I can say, well, I didn't do that. That's what they recommended. That's just not me. And that's my thought on it. So thanks everybody for coming. Meeting adjourned.